The Lagena brothers, Marty and Rick Lagena, have been exploring the hidden treasures of Oak Island for over 2 centuries. Their quest began when they read an article in Reader's Digest about the infamous Money Pit, which has sparked curiosity worldwide. The brothers have been drawn to the island by tales of hidden riches that have remained out of reach for over 2 centuries. The Money Pit is an intricately constructed pit filled with logs at various levels and possibly other materials like coconut fibers. When treasure hunters think they've reached the bottom, flood tunnels, supposedly built by the original constructor, let in water from the Atlantic Ocean. This ingenious design has prevented many from reaching whatever lies at the bottom. However, the Lagena brothers discovered a sunken ship near the Money Pit, confirmed by experts to be from the early 1700s, indicating human activity on the island for over 400 years. The Lagena brothers' interest in the island and its treasures has been burning for more than a decade. Their exploration led to a documentary that highlights their search and uncovers a long structure, thought to be the notorious Dunfield's Labyrinth from 1938. The documentary is full of intriguing questions and thoughts, and it will help the Lagena brothers contribute to the ongoing story of the island and its hidden treasures. In 2006, archaeologists working at the South Shore Cove on the island made a cool find. They stumbled upon what looked like an old road made of logs, known as a corduroy road because it resembled the fabric of the same name. As they dug deeper, it became obvious that this wasn't just any old road, but a really ancient one. They found several logs, some of which turned out to be much older cedar wood. After doing some carbon dating on the wood, the results confirmed that these logs were cut long before anyone officially started searching or settling on the island. This discovery was a big deal because it suggested there was significant activity on the island way earlier than previously thought. However, the archaeologists faced a setback when bad weather hit, damaging the road. They had to rebuild it quickly to protect the logs so they could study them more the next year. Despite the weather damage, the samples from the wood already told an important story. They indicated that the history of human activity on the island went way back, much further than we initially believed. Throughout the treasure hunting history of the island, people have occasionally found old pathways or roads. This particular road ran for hundreds of yards, navigating through varied landscapes and crossing a critical watershed area between the upland and Smith's Cove. The discovery of coconut fiber within the structure of the road was particularly surprising, suggesting that there was a planned effort to build a durable road, perhaps for transporting materials or as part of a larger operation. Finding an old road on Oak Island suggests people were active there much earlier than we thought, opening up new possibilities for exploration. The discovery of the ancient road on Oak Island, off the southeast coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, by Marty and Rick Lagena, along with their exploration team, was a significant discovery in 1996. The team discovered an elevated rock formation, paved with flat stones laid closely together, which led to discussions about verifying the presence of a stone road and understanding its extent and purpose. Despite conducting a geophysical survey, the results were inconclusive, but the idea of a stone road persisted, especially after geophysicist Mike Hunt identified a packed and rolled stone surface almost 3 feet below the modern surface of the land in an area far from any known old buildings or previously cleared land. The excavation in this area unearthed a layer of homogeneous clay containing various artifacts, suggesting that this area could have historical significance beyond what was initially visible. The depth of the clay and the artifacts found were similar to those found in the wartime trench, indicating that this feature might be an extension of the stone road discovered. The team decided to further investigate the area to the north by trenching across the line of the road revealed by Hunt's survey. Vast jigsaw of human history. The Lagena brothers and their team continue their quest, not only looking for treasure, but also for connections to our shared past, making every find a valuable piece of the larger historical picture. At the Chapel of Rosslyn excavation site, a new team joined in and discovered that the entrance was cleverly rigged with traps, including a water tunnel leading all the way to the sea. This intriguing twist adds weight to a well-thought-out idea about the island's past that the Lagena group has been piecing together from their research. Rob McInnes, a filmmaker and writer active in Newfoundland, has been collecting stories about the Sinclair family's history, offering rich insights to the Lagena group and adding depth to the island's history. Despite the close proximity of the island to the mainland, these discoveries seem within reach. Digging up places like the Stone Road will be challenging and complicated, with many potential setbacks. The history of Oak Island, a small island in Nova Scotia, has become part of the wider historical tapestry. However, the complex and confusing history of the island is often due to the reckless search for rumored riches, which has led to severe damage and irreversible loss of structures. The recent burst of activity on Oak Island has brought to light its potential, uncovering a new and rich layer of history. A proper archaeological approach could transform the current treasure hunt mindset into a more respectful and scientifically sound exploration of the island's rich historical layers. By treating the island not just as a treasure trove, but as a historical site with valuable lessons about the past, we might uncover insights about the people who came to the island long ago, their lives and their purposes. Proper excavation and careful handling of artifacts could provide a clearer picture of the island's past, contributing to a more comprehensive understanding of its historical context. This would not only enrich our knowledge, but also ensure the preservation of this part of Nova Scotia's heritage for future generations to study and appreciate. Oak Island is just one of many islands with rich histories and legends of hidden treasures, calling out to those who seek adventure and discovery. These islands are not just stunning to look at, but also steeped in history, drawing in explorers and adventurers eager to uncover fabled treasures. Norman Island in the British Virgin Islands, for example, is famous for its links to old pirate stories and is thought to have inspired Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. The island features places like Privateer Bay and Money Bay, named to reflect its adventurous past. Frigate Island in the Seychelles, another hotspot for pirate activity, is said to have hidden a massive treasure there, including the Golden Cross of Goa he seized. Despite many searches over the years, this treasure remains unfound. Besides its pirate history, Frigate Island dazzles with its stunning natural beauty, featuring lush greenery, untouched beaches, and a wealth of wildlife. Ile Sainte-Marie, off Madagascar's coast, was another favorite among pirates in the 17th and 18th centuries. Many believe that huge treasures were stashed on the island, and treasure hunters still scour the area hoping to find these riches. Cocos Island, off Costa Rica's coast, is famous for its tales of hidden pirate loot, and the Galapagos Islands are well known for their unique animals and Charles Darwin's research. In the Caribbean, Roatan Island off Honduras has its share of treasure tales, with pirates like Henry Morgan reportedly using the island as a base and hid treasures in its caves and along its shores. Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay, built in the 1930s for an exposition, is linked to various legends of hidden riches from the gold rush era. Lastly, the Mediterranean's tiny Porto Farina in Tunisia was a pirate stronghold in the 17th century. While the treasures they hold may be material or simply the beauty of their natural landscapes, the stories and quests for hidden riches add a layer of excitement and wonder to these enchanting locations. These artifacts contributed an additional stratum to the expanding enigma of Oak Island. However, the 16th episode of Season 5, entitled Seeing Red, featuring the Garnet Pendant, was a game-changer that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Rick Lagina and Gary Drayton made the decision to revisit the location where they had previously unearthed a decorative keyhole. Unbeknownst to them at the time, their return journey would undoubtedly unearth an even more valuable artifact. The investigation commenced with the discovery of a military button from the 17th century, which bore resemblance to the button they encountered in Episode 2 of Season 2. However, the situation became truly thrilling when they unearthed a brooch and what at first appeared to be a multifaceted ruby. In the Season 5 finale, the stakes were abruptly elevated to an entirely new level when the possibility of discovering a precious gemstone on Oak Island kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Incredible discoveries. Gary Drayton had this jewelry examined by a gemologist, and the revelation was nothing short of astounding. What they had mistaken for a ruby was, in fact, a hand-cut rally garnet set in silver. What was even more astounding was that the estimated date of this gem was the 1500s or 1600s. This semi-precious gemstone was not only a valuable discovery, but the most valuable treasure the Lagena team possessed. Following that, which was previously unearthed, the gold-plated brooch was featured in Season 6, specifically in the premiere episode. The discovery in Rick's Big Bang Theory was a genuine game-changer, and it filled the audience with anticipation. Gary Drayton and Rick Lagena are on Oak Island near the residence of Daniel McGinnis, one of the earliest treasure hunters from the 1700s. Using his dependable metal detector, Gary Drayton receives a promising signal. As their anticipation grows, they begin digging, and lo and behold, a jeweled brooch. This was their second such find, following a garnet brooch they discovered in the previous season. Seeing red, the excitement continued in the 6th episode of the following. According to Luth and Brain, the brooch's threaded technique estimated its age to be no later than the 14th century, notwithstanding the glass gem. It was a remarkable jewelry item with a lengthy and enigmatic past. However, the real revelation came when Dr. Krista Bro and Dr. Xiang Yang, employing an electron microscope, identified a gold component within the brooch. This revelation was a genuine epiphany, whereas the gem itself may have been a little bit disappointing. The brooch that was encircling it was discovered to be an authentic treasure of Oak Island artifact. Next on the list is the hand-painted pottery featured in episode 14 of season 8, titled Fire in the Hole. This particular discovery captivated viewers intently as it offered a glimpse into the enigmatic workings of Oak Island. To provide a brief synopsis, archaeologists Miriam Amiro and Dr. Aaron Taylor embark on an expedition to decipher the parameters of a stone pathway that potentially holds the key to unlocking the island's secrets. As their investigation progresses, they fortuitously encounter a remarkable handcrafted artifact. Upon further inspection, they discover pottery fragments adorned with vibrantly colored designs, painted by hand in red, blue, and green hues. These exquisite fragments provide insight into a long history of human activity on Oak Island, a mysterious location shrouded in mystery for centuries. What makes the discovery of these colorful pottery pieces along the stone pathway that the team is laboriously attempting to investigate even more intriguing is that they were not found as isolated finds. Rather, they were discovered while following a breadcrumb trail of hints. Lastly, gold was unearthed in episode 2 of season 9, titled The Gold Medal of the Curse of Oak Island. This find captivated Oak Island enthusiasts. The Oak Island team laboriously sorts through the spoils unearthed from tedious holes in the money pit area. It's a laborious process, but they eventually come across a piece of metal that could be precisely what they've been seeking all these years. They transport this metal specimen to an archaeology laboratory. The most intriguing aspect of this metal fragment, which is composed of numerous elements, is that approximately 0.07% of it registers as Au, the chemical symbol for gold. This is a game changer. Gold has been a long-standing enigma surrounding Oak Island. Presently, archaeologists are discovering indications of this precious metal in the very soil they've been excavating. However, the intrigue does not cease there. Just 2 episodes later, in episode 4 of season 9, they make another metallic discovery. This time, it is only a stone's throw from where they discovered the first trace of gold. The results of their rigorous examination of this new source of metal are even more astounding. It contains 0.2% gold, a significantly higher percentage than the previous find. This revelation represents a major breakthrough, as trace amounts of gold are now confirmed on Oak Island. From traces of gold to ancient coins and a possible connection to the Knights Templar, these were some of the most shocking moments of Oak Island brothers. With each discovery, we were reminded that this treasure hunt is far from over, and the mysteries of Oak Island remain as enthralling as ever, including the area's possible link to a money pit. I had a good sense about this lot, especially since there are so many flags to pursue. Are you prepared to get your teeth stuck in? Then we should proceed.